Hi, I am Narendra Modigari. Welcome to the second lecture on JDBC. In this lecture, I am going to demonstrate to you how to write Java programs to interact with MySQL database. So for this demonstration, I am using Apache NetBeans 12.0, JDK 1.8 and MySQL Community 8. So before start writing programs, first download MySQL connectors. MySQL connector J. So click this link, choose platform independent and click this one to download this. If you already have an account, you can log in, or if you want, you can create an account, or if you don't want to log in, or if you don't want to create an account, just click this button. MySQL connector will be downloaded. Just go to the download folders. So this is MySQL connector Java 8.0 which you downloaded. If you extract this, a folder will be created like this. Go to the folder, and this is the jar file. This jar file you are supposed to add to your project. Let's start our programming. In NetBeans, go to file menu, create new project, select this one, select Java application, give a name for your project, let's say demo project. The first thing you are supposed to do is you have to add jar files to your project. Right click on this, go to properties, click libraries, select this plus symbol, add jar files, and select the jar file which you downloaded just now. The necessary jar file is added to our project. Now let's start writing programs. Create a new Java file, right click on the project, create new Java main class. Let's name it as first class or first.java. You have to, in the last lecture I discussed 6 steps you are supposed to follow while writing programs. The first step is import the necessary packages. So we need to import java.sql package which provides the necessary classes for interacting with the database. This is the first step. The second step is you have to register your drivers, JDBC drivers, by using the forName method, and you have to specify your driver's name. As I told you in the previous lecture, each and every database will have their own drivers, and this is the driver name for MySQL. Just copy this and paste this. This forName method will throw Class.forName exception. You have to handle this exception. Just place a cursor on the error, press Alt and Enter. It will show you 2 options. Either you can handle by using try catch blocks, or you can throw this exception. I'll go with the first one. I'm throwing Class.forName exception. This is the second step. The next step is to create a connection. Create a connection. Let's say CONN by using get connection method of driver manager class. So for this you have to pass 3 parameters. The first parameter is URL. Each and every database will have their own URLs, and for MySQL, so this is the format. The format is JDBC : MySQL : / and this is the location where your database is stored. As I am working with my own computer, I am making my computer as my host, so localhost, and you have to give database name. My database name is simple. Here you have to specify your database name. Keep this inside double quotes. Increase the font size. Let me increase the font size. Okay, so you have to pass three parameters for this get connection method. One is the URL, second one is DB user, root is my user, and third parameter is password. What is the password for root user? For me, username and password both are same. As I told you in the previous lecture, and this get connection method will throw an exception, and you have to handle this exception. Press Alt Enter, choose the first one or second one. Okay. This is third step. The third step is you have to execute the queries. Before executing the queries, you have to create a statement. You have to create an object of statement class by using create statement method. Okay. So create a statement and use this statement to execute the queries. Okay. Create a statement and use this statement to execute the queries. Before executing the queries, let's create queries. Let's form queries. Query 1 is equal to create a table if not exist. Create table users if not exists. So create table with two columns. One is username of varchar type and password is of varchar type. Okay. Okay. Create a statement, create a query, and then execute the query. To execute the query, you can use any one of these three methods: execute method, execute query method, execute update method. As it is a DDL statement, you can make use of execute method. Execute. You have to execute using statement. Statement dot execute query 1. Okay. So this is the first step. This is second step, third step, and this is the fourth step. This is step 4. Create a statement and execute the queries using the statement. A table will be created if the table does not exist. Table created if not exist. Once you create a table, insert the data into the table. Again, for inserting the data into the table, prepare a query. Query 2. Insert into table name, values, and provide values. Users table is having two columns, provide values for two columns. As these are two are strings, make sure that these two are placed inside the single quotes. Let's say Narendra, password is my password. Don't forget to keep this inside the single quotes as it is strings. Okay. Prepare a query like this and execute the query. Now you are going to insert the data. For inserting the data, you can make use of execute update method. Statement dot execute update method. This execute update method will give you an integer which represents number of rows affected. Get that integer. Okay. This execute update method will give you an integer representing the number of rows affected. If x value is at least 1, it means the row is inserted. Data inserted. If x value is at least 1, That means data is inserted. Otherwise, print as failed to insert. So this is the fifth step. Process the result and finally close the connections. You created a statement, close it. You created a connection, close it. Let's execute this. To execute this, okay. So far what we have done, we applied the 6 steps. In step 1, import the necessary packages, register your drivers, create a connection, then execute the queries by using an object of statement type. So create a table and execute it. Insert values into the table, execute it, verify whether data is inserted in the table or not, finally close the connections. Let's see. Right click anywhere, click run file. So we are getting an error, so you should be very careful with the syntaxes and all. There is an error in line number 24. It's a SQL error. That means your query is not correct. 8 into 24. Create table users if not exist. Should be before table name. This should be before table name. Okay. Save this. Run once again. Again we have one more error. This time line number 27. Let's see what the error is. Insert into users values. The spelling is incorrect. It's insert. Insert into users. Run once again. See, the table created and data inserted. Okay. If you want, you can insert any number of rows like that. That's it. In this lecture, what we have done is we created a table and we insert the data into the table. Only one data. In the next lecture, we will see how to insert the data, how to insert multiple data as well as how to retrieve data from the database.